Now that I've finished my cuff, the next step will be knitting an ankle portion or a leg portion, depending how you like to call it. This is the part that is starting underneath the sock cuff and goes until a reinforced heel flap. And this is what I will be knitting today. Here is my beautiful pattern that I've made, and I know it looks ridiculous, but you can see it better on an actual sock. And I will be explaining this pattern better, but just wanted you to see what it will be like. And you can of course use any other color that you like. But here is what I will be working on with this cuff now. So with this pattern, I did 2 rows of plain gray stitches on each side. Then I did a row of white stitches on each side, and then in the middle you have the main pattern, and I will tell you more detailed about it next. So the first 2 rows, before I begin my pattern, I will do just regular knitted stitches with my main yarn, just because I want more of a smooth transition from the cuff to the pattern. So this is what I will be doing, just plain knitted stitches for 2 rows, completed rows, which means on both needles. Nothing to it, just simple knitted stitches all around for 2 rows, and then I will meet you back. I have finished my 2 rows of plain and knitted stitches to make more of a smooth transition from the cuff to the ankle portion, and you can already see in it smoothing out here, but it will make more sense as we progress. At this stage now, I am ready to introduce other colors to the pattern, which are white and turquoise blue for me. When making a pattern, it is nice when all of the yarn that you are using is the same thickness. This will prevent your design to have lumps and bumps, uneven transitions from one color to the other. I am using yarn from the same maker, so I'm lucky all of my yarn is the same. Let's say some of the yarn is thinner than another by half. You can double it up to make up for it, or you can maybe mix it. Like, let's say you would be able to mix white and maybe light beige if you have it, just to go together. So just see what you can do to help yourself to make your yarn a little more cohesive with one another. Here is the pattern that I will be using. I know it looks rough, but trying to find a piece of paper here and some type of marker is insanity. My daughter has all kinds of stuff for art, but when you need something, you can never find anything. So this is the best that I could do. I apologize. I wanted to show you that the pattern itself takes up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stitches longwise. That is if you're not gonna count these 2 full rows of white. Because let's say you don't have enough space and you want to go straight from your main color to the pattern, you can do that. That way you don't have to count these 2 rows. But for me, I will be doing them. The lengthwise, it's taken 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches, like so. And then it just keeps repeating itself over and over. I have total of 56 stitches casted. If I divide 56 on 4, I will have 14, which means this particular pattern will repeat itself 14 times around my ankle. Depending on how many stitches you have, you can divide by 4 and see how many times this pattern will repeat itself for you. Say you're not knitting a sock, you're knitting something else, and you cannot evenly divide amount of stitches that you have on 4 and you left off with a few more stitches. Just see your pattern, where can you perhaps add extra stitch of this color in between. So instead of being separated by 1 stitch, your 2 main pattern circles, if you will, could be separated by 2. So you can add maybe 2 at the beginning and 2 at the end instead of 1, and so on. Just kind of see how you can play with your pattern to fit the amount of stitches that you have. As I've mentioned, I will be doing a full row of white before and after actual pattern. So here I am starting with my first one row of white right after the gray, and these will be just your regular knitted stitches. I will show you how to introduce a new color of yarn into your pattern. So you will have it trickled over your pointy finger like so, with the tail being behind the finger, and the main yarn will be over the finger like this. So you will be getting into your first knitted stitch with your new yarn ready to go. You will pick it up just like as you would any other yarn, and here you go, you have your first knitted stitch. Let's do the other one. And the third. And there you're already knitting with your new colored yarn. And don't worry about that tail. If your first stitch was too big, you can also pull on the white tail to kind of make it smaller. But don't worry about any tails. We will take care of all the tails that are hanging around when we are done knitting the sock. And it's all going to be nice and neat, and you won't be able to see anything. I will continue knitting until I am done knitting a full row with my new white yarn. I finished the first knitted row of my white yarn, and I will be counting this white yarn knitted row as the first row of my pattern. If you are doing the same, then it is also a first row of a pattern for you. I'm ready to start working on my second row, and the second row for me starts with one white yarn stitch. So one knitted white stitch is done, and the next I have is one blue stitch. So now I will need to introduce a third color. It is my blue color. So the same thing I did with white, instead of using white, I will be using this blue like so, and I have my first blue stitch. Then I have 3 white stitches. Now I will also show you the back of the work so that you will see what's going to be happening on the back, and then I will show you how to make it happen. And so as you can see, I have white yarn and I have blue yarn, and they need to intertwine in order for my floats or my bridges not to be too long and not to stick out too much. So right now I will be using white yarn. I will overlap the blue yarn which I used just now on top of my blue, like so. So now you see my blue is kind of pinned underneath white, and then when I will go to be using blue again, it will go over the white like so, and I will be pinning the white, and that way they are going like that. They are intertwining between each other to keep each other anchored to the side of my work, and not to create these long floats that are poke out. They can be caught on your fingernails or whatever else is going on there. It will be more clear as we go, but right now I need 3 white stitches. So here we go, 1, 2, and 3. And after 3 white stitches, again 1 blue stitch. So I'm looking at the back, and I will have the blue, that's the tail, tuck it back in there. I will have the blue go on top of the white like this, and I will have 1 blue stitch, and after 1 blue it's 3 white again. So my white goes on top of the blue, and I'm doing 3 white stitches. 1, 2, 3. You can see the pattern now. Now again 1 blue stitch, and now blue goes over the white, and I'm doing 1 blue stitch, and next is 3 white stitches, white over the blue, 1, 2, 3. Let's see what's going on in the back. And this is what you are getting in the back. It's hard to tell still because I am on the first row, but you can see how it is twisting and pinning each other against the side of the work. So it's all nice and neat and nothing is looping out or sticks out too much. I will continue working on my pattern. Next is 1 blue stitch, and then there will be 3 white stitches, and I will go like this all around until I am done on both sides of my work, and this will complete the row number 2 for my pattern. Then I just wanted to show you that I will be finishing my first needle of the second row with 2 white stitches, which means that I will be starting my second needle, which is the second half of the second row, with 1 white stitch. Also, you will be having all kinds of twists like this with your yarn. Please don't worry about it. Just after each row, take your time to unravel everything, and then you will start again. And here you can see the back of my work of the first needle. It's looking cute in the back as well, actually. Okay, so the second half of the second row starts with 1 white stitch, like so. And then I'm just continuing the pattern, blue over white, 1 blue, and then 3 white stitches, white over blue, 1, 2, 3. Next one is blue, and so on. I will meet you at the end of row number 2. So I'm finishing row number 2 with 2 white stitches. We'll pull the needle out, and I started row number 2 with 1 white stitch. So it is now, I don't know if you can see it, but it fits my pattern, and I completed the pattern with my other needle. So the row number 2 is finished, and I will be starting on the row number 3. I wanted to show you what's going on the inside. I did not cut my main yarn, my gray yarn. It's still here. I will be moving it upwards on this side like so. Right now it is underneath the white, but now I will move it like so. My next row will start with 3 blue stitches. So I will move my blue underneath the gray like this. And next time I will be knitting, I will move gray back to the background, and another yarn will be going over it like so. And this way, this gray yarn is also being caught and woven into my work as well, so that there isn't a big loop from bottom to the top, and then it's also nice and tucked in and not poking out. Hope it makes sense. Next, I have 3 blue stitches in my pattern, and this is row number 3 of the pattern. So we have 1, 2, 3 of the blue, and next comes white, and white goes over the gray and will go over the blue, and I need 1 white stitch, and again 3 blue, so blue goes over the white, 1, 2, 3. Next is white. White goes over the blue, 1 white, now 3 blue again, blue over the white, 1, 2, 3. You already start seeing a pattern here, Next one is white. Again, white over the blue. Now 3 blue. Now blue over the white. One, two, three. Next one is white. I will keep on going until I finish row number 3. So I finished row number 3. This is what I have in the back. It all coming along nicely together. Very nice and smooth, and isn't in the way. Both colors holding each other back, anchored because of the twists that I made. I'm about to start row number 4. Need to make sure I'm anchoring my main yarn. Row number 4 will be starting with the blue yarn. I will put blue underneath the gray now, and I will put the white over the gray, like so that they are intertwined again. Fourth row will start with the blue yarn, as I said. I will put blue over the white and will make my first stitch. And I just need one blue stitch to start it off because my next stitch is white. So we'll put now white over the blue, like so. Then I have 3 blue stitches. So now blue goes over the white. 1, 2, 3. Next is 1 white. White is over the blue. Now 3 blue again. 1, 2, 3, and then will be 1 white again, and then 3 blue again, and this is how the pattern of the 4th row goes. So I will finish the 4th row doing 1 white, 3 blue, and then I will meet you when I'm done. Number 5 starts with 3 blue stitches. I already made 1 blue, 2 more. So will be second and third, and then I have 1 white stitch. So now my white is going over the gray here and the blue. Three blue stitches again, blue going over the white. 1, 2, 3. Next one is white again. Now white is going over the blue. Now 3 blue stitches, placing the blue over the white. 1, 2, 3, and you can see the pattern: 3 blue, 1 white, 3 blue, 1 white. Next one is 1 white, and then will be 3 blue, and now we'll keep going until I finish row number 5. I am starting row number 6, and row number 6 will start with 1 white stitch. I already unraveled my yarn and fixed up the main gray yarn here on the side to go under and over. Then I have 1 blue stitch, and the blue goes here over the white. And then after this, I have 3 white stitches, white over the blue, 3, so 1, 2, 3. Then I have 1 blue stitch, and blue goes over the white. 1 blue stitch. Now 3 white again, white over the blue, 3 white, 1, 2, 3. Now will be 1 blue again, and then 3 white again, and then I will be repeating this pattern until the end of row number 6. Just remember that the 6th row starts with 1 white and 1 blue, and then your pattern picks up to 3 white, 1 blue, 3 white, 1 blue, and so on. I will see you at the end of row number 6. I finished row number 6, and now I have one more row to go, which is just plain knitted white stitches, same as I did over here. I will not need the blue yarn anymore, so I will just cut it, leaving a nice little tail behind. I will secure it later with the rest of the loose stitches, but for now I will just be done with it. Now I will move my white yarn over, but I will tuck it under the main yarn like so, just so that I keep on securing my main yarn. And I will do a full row of plain white knitted stitches. I will finish full row of plain white knitted stitches to finish up my pattern and make it stand out more. Like so. I will continue knitting plain white stitches until I finish row number 7, and I will see you then. I finished row number 7 of plain white knitted stitches. This is what I have now, and it looks really cute. I think the colors go well together. You will see it much better once I do 2 more plain knitted stitches in main color over here, which is next. But just wanted you to see so far what I have. This is our floats or our bridges, and they are pretty flat and anchored to the wall of the sock. They are not poking out, bowing out, and they're still very stretchable. So I think I did pretty good here. This is the side where my main yarn was hidden to go up. If I did not do this, then right now my main yarn would look like that. I would have this kind of loop where it would move from the bottom to the top, and you would see this, just a stitch or a float. And you know, it might have been okay as well, but it depends on your personal preference. I just like to hide things like that. To me, what I have right now going on looks much better than if I had that long float in main color over here. It is usually said that the float can be as long as even 5 stitches without being anchored down. I just personally don't like it. I like to secure everything I do just so it looks nice on the inside as it does on the outside. You can even make out pattern that I have on the inside as well. So if you don't want to secure shorter floats, you don't have to. But if you do want to secure them, then you can just do same as I did and twist your stitches on the inside to keep them low profile and pinned down to your sock wall. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm going to cut the white yarn now because I do not need it anymore for a while. I'll secure the tail later. For now, the white tail and the blue tail will be hanging out on the inside until I need them again. And what I will be doing next is using now again my main yarn, and I will knit 2 rows of plain knit stitches in my main color yarn, as I did over here. Remember, we started with 2 rows of main color, so I'm just completing this pattern basically, and just normal knitted stitches all around for 2 full rows. So we'll keep doing this, and I will see you when I finished fully 2 rows of knitted stitches in my main color. And here I am done with 2 more rows of my main color of plain knitted stitches, and this is what I have so far. The cuff and the portion, I call it ankle portion, but it really is a leg portion, kind of like a ankle-ish. This is what it looks like. This is the side look where the 2 patterns were meeting together. This is the crossing of the 2 needles. This is what it looks like. I think it's pretty good transaction. Now that I am done with 2 parts of the sock, I am ready to move to a third part of the sock, which is knitting a reinforced heel flap. And you will see why I call it reinforced, but this will be in my next video, and I hope that I will see you there. Thank you for watching.